we've got some pansies that we grew from seed. And as I said in a previous video, they take a very long time to germinate and grow into anything that looks half decent. But I think now at this size, we're ready to prick some out. We'll see if we can get enough out of here to fill this 12 cell, because we need to start and get them growing on a bit now. I'll just pop some compost in here. When I take these out, I will show you close up. So after filling this cell up, obviously I always tamp it down a bit, because when we do come to take these plants out to plant in the garden, we don't really want a loose plug, because all the compost is going to fall apart and just leave you with the plant and some dangling roots. So I'll top this back off and we'll have a look at these. I'm also going to give it a really good watering. It always seems to make it easier to get the seedlings in correctly when you've got moist media to work with. So I'm going to make some deep holes, because obviously at the moment we don't know how long the root system's going to be. So let's have a look at these seedlings now. And if you saw the video when I actually sowed these originally, you'll know it's quite a long time ago. As I said, they're very slow at germinating and growing. And looking at how tightly packed together these are, I think we'd benefit from watering this media first. And that was the beauty of actually using these little containers, because you can see through and you can see how dense the root system has become. But you can also see whether there's any moisture in the lower parts where the roots are trying to take up water. So let's see if we can tease one of these out without breaking it. We're going to have to dig right in to get these out. The roots are so dense, it's lifting the entire thing out. What we'll have to do is take a clump off of this and then try and separate them after. Very dense root system already. And we've got this nice one there, and there's a little tiny one. I mean, you can just separate this off if you want and save it. But the first thing you're going to need to do is free these plants up. So you have to be really careful when you're doing this, that you don't break the plants. I mean, this one's separated, only got a very tiny root system on it, so probably not worth bothering with that one. Then I'm just going to get rid of some of this compost. And that's a lot of roots for a tiny seedling. So in this case, what we'll have to do is make these holes bigger, like that, because then we can feed all that root system right in. And then we can push it down as well. And try and get them in quite deep. Don't worry too much about these leaves at the bottom, because they're the first leaves. It's these ones that matter, the true leaves. So we've got that in there, and we're just going to firm around it as well. We want it to be stable in its new home. And then we'll do the same again. Like I said, when the root systems get so dense, it can be quite difficult. And that's why I always say that when they get to a certain size, try and prick them out. These have just been left a little bit too long, and that's the result. But we still can separate them if we're careful. And we'll get rid of all that old compost again. We don't want that. Just leave us the plant and its root system. And again, we'll make the hole bigger. Sometimes you don't realise until you actually take the plant out how much space you're going to need to get it in. So we'll pop that down and we'll push these roots in. And then we'll firm around it. And it looks like we've got 3 in this clump and they look quite decent, so we'll try and get all these 3. I'll just stick to the biggest ones for the moment. So let's get the rest of these big sized ones in. Last one for this pack. So we've ended up with 12 perfectly healthy looking pansy plants there. And we have still got about 8 left that we can use. But it just goes to show you that even in such a small container, if you leave them too long, they're a bit more difficult to separate and move on, but not impossible if you take your time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching that video. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more as we progress through spring, summer and autumn, just hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell, and I'll see you all next time. You all take care. Thank you.